I'm interior designer Hollis Loudon, and welcome to Design Diaries, where Homeworthy and I are pulling back the curtain on what it really takes to transform a space from concept to completion.
And I will say Hollis got some designs. It might scare a lot of people, but you have to allow the process to go through it.
Whether it's reimagining my own West Village apartment,
this is very much what is happening in real life right now.
Designing a sky-high sanctuary on the 75th floor,
If there's one thing you don't want to do in life, it's file the insurance claims.
or creating the perfect work-from-home lofted space in New York City.
With each challenge, the project just got better and better and better.
Every project tells a story. This isn't just about before and afters, it's about the messy, beautiful middle where design really happens.
But a lot happens in a week. A week's like a year in interior design.
So join me as I transform houses into homes, one vision at a time. This is Design Diaries.
Hi, I'm Hollis Loudon. I'm a luxury residential interior designer. For the case of Design Diaries, I am going to be taking you on a journey as I do renovations and design in New York City rental apartments. So very different from what I've shown you in the past. One of the reasons why I wanted to do Design Diaries is because of the fact that I believe that, especially with interior design, you only see the finished product. And it is very easy to believe that you got there in an incredibly linear and smooth fashion, and that is so far from the truth. So when it comes to design, particularly interior design, there's a million and one changes and pivots that happen along the way, and so much evolution that happens from the time that you start with the concept to the completion. So I just want to pull back the curtain. I want to show exactly what does happen so that there is more of a normalcy to the ebbs and flow, and also the mistakes that you can make along the way, even if you are a professional. Throughout the course of Design Diaries, I'm going to be showcasing several projects, one of which is Sierra Miller's apartment, and that is, the Sierra Miller of Bravo's Summer House and Peacock's Traders.
It's weird to have a boyfriend that's giving hater energy.
It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath penthouse on the Lower East Side. I'm doing another client who is one of the partnership managers for influencers at Instagram, and that is at the Printing House in the West Village. And then right down the street, I am doing currently my own apartment with my boyfriend. I moved into his apartment, and we are redoing the apartment to make it more in line with our lifestyles and both of our aesthetics. Each of them are at various different stages of the design process, move in, installation, and none are at completion yet, but I can't wait to take you along and show you how I work with my clients and how the process happens. Currently, we are in the living room of my boyfriend's West Village apartment, and we are going to be making some changes in here. You come right in here into our living/dining room/office. So this is my boyfriend's workstation. This isn't even a desk, this is an actual dining table. And he has the 2 monitors that don't match, #boyapartment, but they're apparently incredibly necessary. So I'm trying to work around this. Currently, because of Millie and, we do try and live a little more civilized, we do eat dinner here every single night. So every night I clear everything off. I don't take the monitors off, but I clear everything off, and we have this rolling chair, this desk chair, and this stool. So I sit on the stool and he sits in the desk chair, and this is where we eat, and we have our blotter. And we're able to kind of have our makeshift dinner. So one of the things that I'm looking to do here is obviously clear everything out. I have some of my design books, I have wallpaper, we have weights, clear all of this out and put a desk against the wall with monitors, and then also have perhaps a small dining or bistro table with 2 chairs, just 2. We only need 2 for us. I don't think we're really gonna be entertaining here that often. And then this was the chest that was in the bedroom. this is being taken out. This beautiful piece was what was in the hallway. This we're going to hang back up. I just haven't decided where yet, but my boyfriend loves pickles. This was done by his aunt, who's an amazing artist. So this whole area, I'm trying to segment out. The rug that would fit here is an 8x10. We currently have an 8x10 in the living area. So I'm gonna match the rugs to create more cohesive space and kind of create this one area that will flow, but will each be pretty distinct. I have my closets right here. So I've been playing around again with the idea of changing all the hardware in here, but also deciding if I wanted to do something in here to accentuate these doors. So something that I really love is Dorothy Draper, who did the Greenbrier, super iconic designer. She would paint all of her doors black and white and kind of do a motif with that. So one thing that I played around with is perhaps painting the inset of these doors black, because the whole scheme in here, it's going to be very fun, somewhat pop arty in the sense of keeping the walls white. Again, this is all being workshopped right now. The biggest thing for us is, of course, getting this piece out and finding also storage solutions. So we just got back from Vail. This is all of our ski stuff. I need to find somewhere to put all of this. This is very much what is happening in real life right now. So the living room is adjacent to our dining/office. So what we're considering doing is, I love this orange piece. This is the coolest thing. This, again, my boyfriend has incredible taste. This was already here, and I really would like to keep it. The only issue that we're having with this is that it provides absolutely no storage. Everything is exposed. It actually is very cool. It collapses down. So what we're trying to figure out is, I think we may mount the TV. Again, this is all being very much workshopped. Unlike the bedroom, this is still a total work in progress. Hanging the TV and perhaps putting a chest here, or putting some sort of shelving, very cool kind of mid-century modern shelving around the TV, and framing it out and having all of our coffee table books. We both love books. So we have books absolutely everywhere. There's piles of books literally throughout this entire apartment. Then also, we have now 2 chairs. So these are the competing chairs. This chair is a slipper chair. This was in the bedroom up until when we had to put in our IKEA armoire pack solution. And then this boucle chair from CB2. And one of them has to go. Currently, again, it is very crunched in here. So we're trying to figure out that now, but either way, there will be a chair in this corner, perhaps leaving this one open. And this campaign desk to the side, which just has never left, beautiful antique, is going to go. Again, we love it, but it just right now doesn't really serve a purpose. So we're going to be switching out this sofa. So we actually love this sofa quite a bit. I mean, it's actually very comfortable. This is one of those things though, where simply it just aesthetically isn't aligned with what we're trying to do here. So we're gonna be switching out the sofa. I have different art coming above. I have this company Oka that actually was in the UK. It no longer sells in the US. I have these beautiful 12 modern art prints that are going to frame out above. The only other big changes that are going to be happening are against this wall. We're going to be changing out this light, and then as I did in the bedroom, I'm going to change out these blinds. What I'm hoping to do, again, haven't selected them yet, are some bamboo blinds. I want to add a little bit of texture, kind of a juxtaposition again to what is going to be a little bit more modern in here. This piece I'm obsessed with. Again, already here, one of the first things I noticed when I first ever came into this apartment. This is going to go above the bed, so above the king bed, and I'm so excited about that. It's so big, it's perfect in terms of scale. It'll bring your eye up when you walk into the bedroom, as you know, the ceilings are so high, and now we have our IKEA built-in console armoire, whatever you want to call it, that also draws the eye up. So these 2 prints, these are actually signs from Japan. Again, these were my boyfriend's from during COVID saying, keep your distance. These will be hung here, one above the other. And then, as I said, I'm kind of playing around with the idea in the bedroom, but also in here of perhaps painting the insets of these windows black. Everything is going to be incredibly neutral here, with the exception of pillows, upholstery, and art. Our rugs are going to be very silent. This is a total work in progress. Unlike the bedroom, which is what I like to call like almost fully baked, this space, aside from really our art selections and the things that we know that we're keeping, somewhat up in the air right now. So I can't wait to update you guys as we go and kind of switch things around and look for really beautiful, affordable, and fun creative storage solutions, because every single square foot of this apartment needs to be utilized and maximized in order for us to live in a very peaceful and calm environment. Okay, so right now we're in the entry. And when I first got here, when I first came in the very first time, one thing I noticed was how beautifully decorated it was, to the point where I was actually a little suspicious. And this black table was on this side. There was a piece of art above it. There were these cool mushroom lamps. And sadly, we have had to make some accommodations in order to fit our things. What we've had to do is we move this black console to the side. We put in this our IKEA Pax armoire. Tons of different units. It's the exact same thing that we're doing in the bedroom, except I put these sliding doors on. So this is such an eyesore, but we needed something that we could put all of our things in addition to the bedroom. We have a coat closet behind us, but at the same time, I needed more space. So this will really be a challenge for me in terms of this area to make this, whole armoire situation look aesthetically pleasing. Again, deciding if I want to do peel and stick, if I want to do some sort of painting. Because they slide, I can't do a picture frame molding. We do like the fact that we have a small table here to put our keys on. We have a portrait of our dog Millie that was a gift for Christmas. So, obsessed with that. And it does tie together all the colors that we have really well. But what I really would have liked to have in here is one big leaning large mirror so that I could kind of see myself and it would open up the space a little bit, but sadly that's not the case. So some of the changes, again, perhaps happening in here is, of course, doing something with this, hopefully figuring out something for this wall, and perhaps changing the light fixture. The bathroom is incredibly small. It has terrible lighting. It has this greenish hue that is awful. So one of the things that I am going to be looking to do in here is, again, this is a rental. I can't do incredibly massive upgrades. I'm looking though to upgrade the lighting in some way. I can't do overhead lighting, but I definitely can switch out what is above on the vanity. And then we have this shower curtain, which has seen better days with the plastic hooks. So Look Linen Co. I also did a monogram with my boyfriend's initials. This beautiful applique shower curtain. They just started doing shower curtains. I'm so excited. Applique is very, very hard to do. And so to do it this large is incredibly impressive. So I am going to be hanging the shower curtain, changing out the hooks, and then Wall Pops has done a collaboration. Wall Pops is a peel and stick wallpaper company. I use them in my Dumbo apartment. They did the grass cloth. So any grass cloth that I potentially may do is by Wall Pops. They've done tons of collaborations, and there is an iconic paper from Scalamandre that they have done a diffusion line of, and it is the zebras. So if you've seen the Royal Tenenbaums, Gwyneth Paltrow, it's her bathroom, I believe, in her apartment in the Royal Tenenbaums is the zebras, and it's like listed as one of the 10 most iconic wallpapers of all time. I'm going to be doing it in red, which is the exact color that she had, and I think it's cheeky, I think it's fun, and that's really the only pattern on the walls that I'll be doing. And what I like about the peel and stick, again, is any damage, I can quickly take it down. It's incredibly affordable, and I only have these two faces to do. The rest, all in the shower, around the sides, are, completely tiled. So those are where I'm going to do it. But those are the upgrades that I'm going to be doing in here. A new bath mat, new monogram towels. and perhaps a couple pieces of art. I don't want to clutter it, but maybe something over the toilet, perhaps something over the towel bar, and yeah, that's all we're going to be doing in here, but I think it's going to make a huge change. I'm going to be taking you to Sierra Miller's apartment. It's a 75th floor penthouse on the Lower East Side. I'm going to be showing everything you've done so far. So far we've done some painting and some installation in the dressing room. So come along, I'm going to show you everything we've done so far and outline what we're going to be doing next. Well, we are en route to Sierra Miller's apartment. She just moved down there, and we started this process not long ago at all. We're towards the end of February. We started the design process like mid to late January, and we've moved so quickly. Some people might not see that as quick, but this has been incredibly fast. So as of right now, I haven't been there in over a week. What we've done is we have lime washed all of the walls. We started to install her dressing room. So actually we did IKEA in there. We did the Besta underneath. So I need to take a look at those. Apparently the sectional sofa has been delivered. I did peel and stick grass cloth in all of the living room. We have some art that should be installed later this week. We have a marble console that already went in. And we're waiting, it actually got delayed in customs, for our beautiful mural to come from Wallism for the bedroom. So that's another thing. And I think also her mattress came, and the tricky thing with the mattress is it is a Sleep Number mattress, and I've never worked with one before. I have a friend who has one, and I always ask him what's his sleep number, only to realize that he has never actually calibrated it, which is hilarious. So I'll have to ask Sierra what her sleep number is. But we need to custom make a bed for this because it is very hard to find the look that we're going for this mattress. So that is one of the things that we're dealing with right now. Lux Holdups is also doing all of the drapery hardware, and we're waiting on a couple other selections. So things that haven't been selected so far include her coffee table, her media credenza. We were looking to get one off of Etsy that was a very beautiful vintage French piece. The delivery was absolutely insane, so now we're looking for something within the United States. So this is definitely a look that I'm not really known for. It's lots of beiges, taupes, burgundies. It's very monochromatic. It's more of a Soho house, elevated Soho vibe, almost like a loft vibe. So it's very different than something that you would think that you would see from me. So I'm excited to share that. So we are at Sierra Miller's apartment on the Lower East Side, and right now we're in the living room. So this area, we have done all of the design for in here. We haven't selected a coffee table or a media credenza. However, we have selected a sectional sofa. This is not it. This is going in the guest room. This was from the CB2 outlet or the Crate outlet, one or the other. But we have this Turkish rug that we got on Etsy. I did peel and stick grass cloth wallpaper in this room, and I did it actually on the architectural beam here. It was something that kind of was an addition along the way, but I knew that I wanted to do. We're going to be adding acrylic hardware across the top from Lux Holdups, and we're going to be doing shears, just very simple pleated shears. As you can see, you get a lot of light in here, and there are solar shades. There's a view of Brooklyn. You can see over into Tribeca, but we want to be able to diffuse the light in another way. So there'll be shears, one set of panels on one side, one set on the other. Right where I'm standing, we're gonna have a beautiful white sectional sofa with the chaise here, right along the right-hand side, a coffee table. Towards the back, we have a small rectangular table coming from CB2, along with 2 chairs that are upholstered in a velvet, another 2 that are petite and a metal, very, very, very interesting looking. So the idea about the table is that it'll pull out a little and that she can seat 4 around it. So 2 on one side, 2 on the ends with the table pushed up against it. Up top here, we have the lighting already set up for a Murano glass chandelier that's coming from First Dibs. So that's actually coming from Italy. It's vintage, it's stunning. And then we also have some artwork coming. A very large piece is going to go here, a modern piece. So right now we're in the front entry of the apartment. So this area, again, is lime wash in this color atelier, kind of beautiful chocolate brown. I'm trying to decide right now, as I'm inspecting everything, if we wanted to do 1 more coat. I know that we've done 3. I think maybe we do another, that is TBD. But right here, we have this beautiful piece, this marble fluted table. We're gonna be doing a piece of artwork above, and that is from Minted, and we're going to be doing a Pookie art light above that. It's cordless, so we're not gonna have to do any wiring there, which is wonderful. Then on this wall right here, we're going to be doing an insanely tall, I believe it's 90 or 92 inches. It's going to pretty much scrape the ceiling. This is going to be dramatic when we're bringing it in, but floor to ceiling leaning mirror. And that's from Restoration Hardware. We measured the threshold on its side. It's going to be able to fit through the door. So as of now, fingers crossed, it's going to make it. We have a Turkish runner going here. I'll roll that out in a second. And then on this wall directly across, I didn't want to paint any of the doors or the baseboards. We were going to do them in a chocolate mocha to match the lime wash because we didn't want to do the lime wash. It's a totally different finish on the baseboards. But eventually she is going to have to move out. So painting this all back to white, the walls is one thing, but the baseboards and the doors is another. So I didn't want to do the electrical panels. So with this, what we're going to be doing is putting a very large scale piece of art there. I think it's 72 inches tall, just off the top of my head, with another matching Pookie art light. So that will go there. We have another Turkish runner going here. I'll actually grab it. As you can see, it's kind of these beautiful chocolate brown tones. So this will be running down the hallway. On this wall right here, we have from Cherish, we have these Picasso style prints from Italy that are framed. There's 12 of them that are going to be done as a grid with another Pookie art light above. So again, that's all nice. We're not gonna have to hardwire any of that. It'll all be on remotes. Whether or not she decides to use the remotes, that's another thing. At the end of this hall, we are going to have another mirror, and that'll create the visual interest of it looking a lot larger. And one more place for her, you know, to check what she looks like, etc. Because from there, we're walking into the dressing room. We're not calling it a cloffice because this is truly a dressing room, not a closet / office. We're gonna have something else with that. So I decided to color wash this room. Again, I am not painting any of the baseboards or the doors. Simply because it's just too hard to paint it back. So I did this London Stone by Farrow & Ball. So this I did on the ceiling and I did it on the walls. It's called color drenching. Again, you would paint more. We got these IKEA pieces. These are the Besta collection. And we had them painted. So we did them in a Farrow & Ball full gloss. So we couldn't do lacquer. Again, it's incredibly labor intensive to do lacquer. You have to sand down multiple times between. So we sprayed these in the apartment. That's why you'll see also kind of paint on the floor. We sanded them down and we're going to be putting hardware on all of these and lining them along the wall here and doing luxe holdups in the night color. So it's an acrylic lucite that is almost a black. And then this has yet to be painted, but this is a island that will be going right in front of the windows on casters. This will also be painted the London stone, London fog by Farrow & Ball in the same high gloss, 97% sheen finish. It has some acrylic insets into it so you can look down so she can display her jewelry and it can move. And then very monochromatic, we're gonna be doing a tan rug in here and a light fixture TBD on that. We're also going to have sheer draperies in here just to diffuse the light. So I'll be running, again, a luxe hold-ups in there. So that's the layout of this room. Double hanging here, shoe wall, one set of hanging, and all of the Besta lined up below. They have the 3 drawers, and there's 4 sets altogether. So with this apartment, Sierra had contacted me about over a year ago, March of last year, to work on her old apartment, which was near the Hell's Kitchen area. And there were some apprehensions at first, just simply because she didn't know how long she was going to stay. So we kind of tabled the project until now, when she found this beautiful 3-bedroom, 3-bath apartment on the Lower East Side. As you can see, the views are absolutely stunning. So she reached out to me to do them. And how we met was I had previously done Paige DeSorbo's 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in, I think, 2021, 2022. So we obviously became acquainted with each other, became friendly. And again, we had kind of been in talks to do this project over a year ago in March and decided to table it. And I'm so glad we did, because now we're doing things that have a great deal more permanence. And of course, this is now, quote unquote, her forever home for now. And we can make the investment that we always wanted to. So that's kind of what we're doing. She's currently in LA filming, I believe, the press for Traders. And I always go into my clients' houses when they're not there. I mean, it's kind of just like the blessing of being an interior designer is having access to all of these beautiful spaces and homes, but more so that I can check on them. But with this project, really what we're trying to do is she returns in about a week. I'm trying to move this along as much as possible. Again, so much coordination goes into all of this, especially when you're working with so many different subcontractors, but getting this installed as soon as possible so that she can start living. And this is really, if you ask her, the most important room in the apartment. So the most exciting thing in this apartment that I am doing is most definitely the wallpaper installation in the bedroom. So that was a beautiful wallpaper that we found, Anna, my senior designer, and myself, and she's been instrumental, Anna, in helping with this project. We found the wallpaper and we really thought that we were only going to be doing the wall behind the bed. But again, after speaking with the brand, we have had such an amazing relation. We're going to be doing the entire room, and the paper is, I mean, it's absolutely magnificent. It's not like anything you've ever seen. It's being all printed for Sierra. So that is really what I am most excited about, because I've never done anything like that in a rental, and it's going to have an amazing impact. And then in addition to that, lime washing the ceiling, it'll look like it's an extension of the paper. And lime wash is also something I don't do very often, and I've done in this apartment. So what I'm really loving about this apartment is how everything that we're doing is so elevated, and we're not just, again, sticking to the script of white walls, which I would in some other apartments. We're definitely treating this a little differently than most rentals. It's a 2-year lease as of now, but I know both myself and Sierra are hoping that, again, this project comes out so beautifully that she'll want to stay here for years and years and come. So right now we're in the primary bedroom. So the sleep number was just delivered. And upon looking at it, I think conceptually what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make an upholstered headboard and do some sort of fitted skirt. We're doing that probably in a chocolate brown. That's something that we've been looking for. With regards to the walls in this room, I'm so excited to say that we're going to be doing a mural with wallism. So it is an absolutely stunning, almost sepia toned mural of all trees, and it's going to envelop the entire room. So at first we were only going to be doing the wall behind the bed and lime washing the rest. However, we are going to be doing the entire room in this mural wallpaper. So it's currently held up in Sweden in customs, but it will be to us soon. So it will wrap the entire room, and the background of it is this, again, sepia tone. So I'm going to lime wash the ceiling in a corresponding sepia tone from the same company, Color Atelier, that did the hallway. And we have a chain art installation, so it looks like large chain links that is going to be hanging from the ceiling, and that is coming from First Dibs. So that should arrive the first week of March, which is next week, which is super exciting. So in here, to prep for this room, the main thing that happens next is, of course, the lime wash of the ceiling, which arrived yesterday, just needs to be applied. Then we're going to be doing the wallpaper. We have a beautiful plain rug. It's wool, which is incredibly durable, from Rugs USA coming in. And we are going to be keeping these burlwood nightside tables that she already had from her previous apartment. So that's very, very nice. We got this beautiful dresser from Crate, which is fantastic. Even though she has the dressing room, we really wanted to obviously have as much storage space as possible because of the fact that, as you can see, there's clothes everywhere, and we all in New York, if there's anything that we're learning, need as much storage as possible. And we're also going to, again, be in here doing draperies. So we're going to be doing the same night luxe hold-ups. We're going to be doing a rod across, and then we're going to have drapery panels. And that is something, again, we're finalizing with the fabrication of the headboard and the bed skirt. We're either going to be doing a velvet or a beautiful linen. So those are all things that are up in the air. Again, all of the main decisions have been made, you know, such as the wallpaper, the lime wash on the ceiling, the rug, bedding. It's just some of these other little details along the way that we're kind of trying to suss out as each decision leads to another decision. So the Sleep Number mattress has definitely made it a little more difficult to find a bed that would fit properly because of the fact that you need a certain foundation for it to lift up and down. So that's something that we're looking into. I'll keep you posted, but next steps are, of course, lime wash, then wallpaper installation, and then rug. So we just left Sierra's, and we are now on our way to my client Erica's. She is literally moving in today, so I feel like this is an ambush. I actually feel kind of bad that she agreed to this. You're 3 hours behind me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great, because I've had like a crazy day. So by the end of today, I also want to get you bedding, because like my ideal like life would be for you to come home and like your bed be made and like the art be up and like all the, you know, stuff be taken up. Text me if you need anything, and I'll talk to her about the rug. I'm like literally about to walk in. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Good.
Thanks.
Hollis.
Bye. What's hard about my job is you go to a meeting and there's like an immediate download of 80 million things, and then you leave, and of course everything needs to happen like at a very quick pace. And so you're like, it's a constant, like it's this constant movement. Like I feel like you go into a meeting, you make 80 decisions, and it's like if you don't execute on those decisions the second that you walk out the door, or you're executing on them as you're there, they don't get done. I am excited to see it all come together. You know, we tried our absolute best, again, to order things that were in stock that could be delivered quickly. And I did a lot of things that are also renter friendly, like I did with my place, like I'm doing at Sierra's. It's all about what can we do to upgrade and make it so that it's reversible, but also that it's beautiful. So right now we're at move-in day at the printing house building, and this is a 1-bedroom lofted studio. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you through what we're gonna be doing in here. We'll look at the upstairs in a minute, But coming through here, we have our entry. This was an existing piece of the client's. We're gonna be putting a credenza here with a mirror above. And then what's so fun is we're gonna be doing 4 separate prints down the hall, and they're all different colors, but they're all the same print, so it's gonna be very fun. Then we have the right-hand side kitchen here. We have our whole thing. Then over here, we have another credenza going here with a piece above it. And we have this beautiful burlwood console coffee table. I'm like really into this. Then here we have our dining area. So we have our bistro table, and we have 2 chairs coming, a piece of art coming above that's oversized with 2 cordless sconces, a media console being assembled right now. We're gonna be keeping the existing draperies, putting down an antique Oriental Turkish kilim rug, kind of like a hybrid. A different sectional white sofa with a chaise all the way against the side. And then we're going to have, again, 2 chairs here and then a mirror. So the biggest thing that we're focusing on today is centering this piece on the sofa that has yet to come. And then also figuring out where we're gonna be putting all of the art. And then upstairs, there's still some pieces that we need to pick out, like our mirror, and one of our nightside tables is missing, so tracking that. So a lot happening today. In here, we're really keeping it not simple. I mean, it's just all gonna be incredibly monochromatic. So we have a burlwood dresser coming in, we have a rug, we have matching nightside tables, and then we need to do decorative accessories and art. And as I said, we kind of need to figure out soon the table for in the kind of little nook alcove area before you walk into the closet. However, this, we're not doing anything structurally with the beams, we're not painting, we're not doing any of that. This is more of like a stucco popcorn texture, so I wouldn't want to paint that anyway. But we're gonna be adding some interest to the walls with art. The biggest issue we ever would have had was finding draperies and sourcing something. Those ones don't go to the floor. However, they are super long and they're already hung. So I didn't have to deal with the installation of draperies, which is always nice. But this has been totally different because it's such a fun vibe. And we are exploring perhaps doing a runner down the stairs. So that's new. Okay, Homeworthy, thank you for coming along for this episode of Design Diaries, where I took you along to a couple of my projects. As you can see, there's a lot more left to be done, so I gotta run. I gotta take care of some things here, but I can't wait to show you all the updates on our next episode, so see you soon.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.